They just took over. But I challenge you to do that before you vote on this, because the people do not want them. I don't want them in my neighborhood, and they still come through there. Well, and it cannot be. I don't care what Mike says, he cannot enforce it.
Okay, go ahead.
It's still going on. It's going to, like you said, it's happening anyway. This gives some structure to it. The city can generate some revenue from the fines. But we have to look at tourism. We have to look at the bigger picture and bring tourism into this county. It is such a source of revenue. It's a way that we can sustain ourselves. And yeah, we're going to be inconvenienced. I hear them all the time riding up and down by me. But would I rather have a thriving city and deal with a little bit of aggravation? I would personally.
Well, we've got a trail set up from.
Go ahead, Don.
We've got a trail set up from where we're going to have our ATV park to Everett's. And Black Mountain Recreation will do the upkeep on this trail. So we'll be open from Cumberland to Everett's. We can go there, they can come here. But this ordinance is not, like I said before, is not to allow people to come into town and ride the streets all day. It's just come in, get what they need, and go.
I think the big thing in Everett's, the problem they have is with the local riders. There's not so much people coming in.
Exactly right. Exactly
They're mad about the way the citizens themselves are riding in town, not the people that come in.
Right.
Can we include in this that, you know, if they're going to gas stations and they're going to eat, that puts them in town. Can we not include in this to keep them out of residential areas? Because they're, I'm sorry, like New York section, my area, I don't have any gas stations or.
I know what you're saying. I know
or food places.
Well, here, this section right here, the city, the council can put down what streets they're to ride.
Should we not do that before this is read then, or?
No, we got the first, there won't be no significant changes. There need to put changes in it between now and the time we have to read it.
Yeah, make sure it's there by your second reading.
Yeah, because
I'll say, sort of answering Mr. Stagnolia's question. I guess it's a question. I wasn't quite sure what he was asking me about, but I will say that the city has the authority to regulate this within the city any way that they want to, with the exception of where that comes in conflict with the state road. The state statute about crossing the road and not requiring insurance and things of that sort is dealing with the state highway, use of these four-wheel vehicles on state highways. The city can, of course, require insurance to use it on within the city if they want to make that requirement. And I don't know the instances you have, but I'm certain, just like with a motorcycle, a golf cart, a boat, any kind of other insurance, that you can obtain liability insurance, not just collision, liability. And if a person is at fault and damages your vehicle, and they have liability insurance, which they say this statute, they want this to require, then that liability insurance, that insurance should pay for damage to your vehicle, the same way as if it were a motorcycle or a golf cart or whatever. But that can be required, and if that's what they require, that's what they require. But the city would be in no way trying to overrule or nullify any kind of state statute. This is drafted, and I recall, I didn't know this discussion was coming up tonight, but when we did put this together, I remember specifically being concerned about trying to make it restricted so that there would be rules and it just wouldn't be open season and you know, anything goes, because there were those kinds of criticisms. And I'm certain by the type of restrictions, the ideas of lights, putting hours, time limits, we tried to put a framework of which it could be used. But you can change this any way you want to, but I do know that unless it's happened recently, at the time I was drafting this, Everett's didn't have anything like it. Theirs was much, they didn't have any rules at that time. They may have changed, and I don't know. But I do know at the time, I called around to see what was going on in other places. At the same time, these people were complaining about what was going on in Cloverfork and Everett. They didn't have a statute like this, and so we tried to put together something that would create a framework that, you know, you could tolerate what was going on. But then there was a lot of negative whatever about it, and it didn't pass. So, but you can change it. You can add all the rules you want to add. But there's a good start here, because if you read it over,
Well,
there's.
that's what I started to say.